Hi there. Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So it's that time of week when we do This Week. So this is a show I put on every Sunday. I kind of consider this the first show, even though we generally have a series episode that comes out early in the morning. However, this is kind of the one that starts the week off, in which I give you a kind of review, overlook of what's going to be happening on this channel for this week, the current week, which is going to be January the 19th through to the 25th. This is episode number 128. I never thought it would go like this. I actually tried to cancel this show last year, but some people were on me about it, so I brought it back in. I wanted to try something a little different, try to give information at the end of each episode instead. It was making the other episodes go too long, so I decided to go back to this format based on that and why people asking me to do it. So anyways, without further ado, what we normally do is I will talk about the channel regular shows first, then the series for the month, and then any other thing that may come up. Also, tend to talk a little bit about the past if there's anything. So the only thing different last week, as far as I know, is maybe a few episodes may have come out late based on work and availability of time to do it. So anyways, we're here with the episode. So the first episode that comes out after this week is called Commonalities Compared. This normally comes out at 8 p.m. on a Sunday night. So Ben, who is the guy who gives me this episode, sponsor. Oh, great. Now I'm getting some pop-up ads here. That never happens. It's been happening more lately, though. I don't know why. But anyways, so Ben is a subscriber of mine, a friend of mine, who he picks two commonalities. They could be two bands, could be two guitarists, could be two vocalists, something to do with rock, two commonalities, and then I just compare them, really. Or you might want to say compare them, or a comparison of them, or contrast them, whatever you want to call it. That's what we do here. So the two he's given me this week are two what I would call speed metal bands, or speed metal bands, or death metal bands. I guess death metal bands is probably a more accurate term. Then they are Metallica and Megadeth. Those are the two that he's been given to me. So I actually own no Megadeth albums. Of course, I've listened to some of their stuff to try to get a little bit familiar with it, and I'll do some more today to get a little bit more familiar with them. They're bands I don't normally follow, although for whatever reason I have about a half dozen Metallica albums. I'm not really sure why, but I think one of those entire yard sale purchases where I buy them for the cassette covers and stuff like that, where I'll just buy the whole box, give them say $10 or whatever, and end up with about 40 albums, 98% of which I never keep. I get rid of, and I keep the cassette cages. In this case, I need to keep a new one for this one as well because it's busted as well. So generally, that's what I do to replace these covers, and so I may have ended up with a huge volume of Metallica albums as a result of that. Anyway, so we'll be doing Metallica and Megadeth tonight at 8 o'clock for Commonalities Compared. Next episode out of the chute is called Look Back at a Classic Rock Album. This is a episode in which I pick a album that is a minimum is a high 2, a 1, or possibly a masterpiece album. And then I talk about the album. That's basically all there is to it. The album has to be, in order to qualify as a masterpiece, also has to have been around a minimum of 15 years. The album I've chosen today comes from this band, The Police. This is Outlandish Demore, their debut album. They seem to be doing debut albums a lot lately. So that's their debut album. We'll be doing that for Look Back at a Classic Rock Album, which will come out Monday at 8 o'clock. Next episode, probably could use this as a prop again. We're going to be doing the mini-series, a near perfect start. We're doing the Police's first 3 albums. Outlandish Demore, Regata de Blanc, and Zenyatta Mondata. So those will be the 3 we'll be doing, the Police, for the mini-series this week. And that will be at Tuesday at 8, sorry. On Wednesday, we will be doing a favorites show we do every Wednesday. It's the oldest show on the channel. And I've picked a topic that I thought would be a little bit interesting. So I've picked 10 songs I have an emotional connection to. Actually, when I made the list, there's like 30 of them. But I'll pick 10 of them out. I don't know if I'm going to put these in necessarily any order. I don't think I will. I'll just pick 10 of those songs and we'll talk about why they're an emotional, why I have this emotional connection and what the emotional connection is to them. So that will be for favorites this week, Wednesday at 8 o'clock. For Thursday at 8 o'clock, we will be doing Big Surprises. This is a show that alternates with Not What We Hoped For. So big surprise this week. It's not really a big surprise now, but it was when I first got it. It's Caravans in the Land of Pink, the Land of Gray and Pink. This album, I initially didn't even want to buy the album, only bought it because I liked the kind of artwork on it. And people had told me, oh, you'll like this band, but I really didn't think I would because I'd heard some of their stuff and didn't think much of it. And the album just completely surprised me. So that will be the album we're doing for Big Surprises this week on Thursday at 8. Friday, of course, at 8 o'clock, we'll be doing Into the Progverse, which is a live stream. And we'll be talking about those underlying prog bands, not the first level prog bands or even the second level prog bands, but those underlying bands that really only progressive rock people would know about. So we're going to talk about them. And it's probably quite a few of them, like lots of them. So we'll be doing that for this week. And that will be, of course, Friday at 8 o'clock. So I'm going to attempt a new series this week. It's also going to be a live stream. I guess I should mark that down so I don't forget, just in case for some reason I get sidetracked. Will come out probably around 4 o'clock on Saturday. It's called The Whole Apple. I'm going to zero in on a band that's been given to me recently. So I take notes from Bandcamp and Wikipedia and Prog archives and a couple of shows that I watch in the Professor's Corner. Scott Lade's in the Prog archives on his. Sometimes I look at these different things and try to pick out albums that I think for bands that I don't know anything about, and then I do a little research on them and try to decide if this is something I might want to do for what's new, or possibly collect the material, or whatever the reason being. So The Whole Apple is going to be, I'm going to pick one of these bands and talk about their discography and what I discovered, and then I may talk a little bit after that about some other stuff that I'm exploring as well. So that show will start this Saturday at 4 p.m. It's only going to be a monthly show, so it'll only happen once a month, probably the third week, which makes the most sense because that's the week that I normally go CD shopping. And so we're going to attempt to do this and see how it works out. Next show up, of course, comes out, and that'll be a 4 o'clock one, sorry. The next show comes out Saturday night. This is What's New. I've been doing this now for a while. We moved this show around a bit, but generally speaking, it's been on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. What's New? I've chosen a band that I listen to quite a bit. Maybe 8 to 10 years ago, I was listening to them. as I tried to get back into music, and they were a band that I liked. They're called the Larkin Poe. It's a pair of sisters that do kind of like Leonard Skinner type music. So we'll be talking about their new album, Bloom, which will come out the day before we do this. Will come out next Friday. So that's what we're doing for the regular shows this week. And that one will come out Saturday at 8 o'clock. The series we're running, of course, is Our Bands by the Letters. We are down to the final week of this, so we are doing the letters the letters S, which we did this morning. Letter T, U, V, W, X, and Y, and then the final one will come out the beginning of next week, which is the letter Z. And so I look forward to completing that series. It seems to have been fairly enjoyable. We're getting a lot of comments, people putting their own list down there. Some bands I'd never heard of that I put on my list to explore. And so that's what it's all about, really, getting to know some new stuff. And then I'm going to do a small mini series because we'll have 5 days left in the month, in which the series is going to end on the, I guess on the 25th it would be. And then we'll have 5 days left. So I'm going to scoot in there with one of the mini series I'd planned to do before and have gotten away from, which is this will be my five albums by Genesis. Probably my 5 favorite, I would say. I did leave one album out that some people may hit me up on the head for, because they know that it's one of my favorites. But there's only 5 spots, so I decided today that I would leave that one off, just for, not because I like it any less than the other 5, just because I'd done something on it recently. So I thought, I'll give it a break and talk about the other 5 in the list. So we'll be doing that series, my 5 albums by Genesis, and when we get to the series, I'll explain more exactly what we're going to do. It'll be similar to the Beatle one I did and the Black Sabbath ones I did before. Anyways, I hope to see you for that series as well. I think that's it for the month. Of course, next month we'll be doing the Love Connection albums that had a lot of love in them. I'm going to give you my 28 favorite Love Connection albums, or whatever you want to call it. I'll probably have a name for the series by then. And so I look forward to that. And so, of course, this was supposed to be my prop for the Genesis albums. So hopefully we'll see you out for some of this, and you have yourself a good day, and we will see you throughout the week. Take care and have a good one. Bye.